this morning. Left-right circuit. So there's 5 exercises. You're going to do all 5 exercises. Think of like going down the list. They all kind of transition into each other. So you're going to do all 5 exercises with your right side. And then your choice, you can either go back to the top if it's easier for you to remember and go down the list on your left side, or since everything kind of flows into the next exercise, so you'll go down the list and then I'll always go back up the list. So if it's, you can watch me if you're having trouble remembering the order, or you can just go back down through the order, whatever helps you most. So the way it goes is we're going to start with a floor press today. So the weight will be in your, let's say, left hand to start with for all of these exercises. So floor press, you're going to be lying on the floor, pressing the weight up like a bench press. So we'd be here. And if we're starting with our left side, we do 6 floor presses from here. On the last floor press, you keep it up and it turns into a get up. So we'll come up and then all the way down and then back up. So it's a get up and a half, because you start on the floor, you'll get up and down, which is 1, and then you'll get up, which is like the half. So up here, you'll just bring the weight down. We'll do a waiter carry, which is where the weight is right here off of your shoulder in one hand, and you step away from the weight. So if I'm holding my left, I'll step to the right for a lateral lunge, times 6. From there, you just drop the weight down. We're going to do a supinated row, which is palm forward. So a lot of times we end up doing them like neutral with your palm facing your midline. But here we're going to make an effort to keep your palm forward as you row. So we pull like that. And on the last one of those, it turns into a kettlebell swing or deadlift. So it's going to be just one hand swinging like this. If it's a deadlift, you're reaching down, tapping the weight in between your shoelaces and coming back up. So either way, it's a hip hinge. You're pushing your hips back and coming forward. The difference is a swing is just puts a little bit more force on it, and it has that force that's pulling you forward. So if you don't do well with that, we can just turn it into a deadlift. No big deal there. So then you've worked your way all the way through with your left hand, and what I'll do is on my 6th swing, I'll just keep swinging and I'll switch hands. The other thing is, if you have a dumbbell here, if you don't have a kettlebell, the swing is really hard to do, especially with one hand. So that'll have to be a deadlift for you. No big deal there. It's just kind of like the way the equipment works out. So from there, you work your way up, swing, palm forward row, bring it up here for a lateral lunge, push it up and you'll do your get up. And then I'll throw reminders in as we go. But then the last thing is going to be the 6 floor presses as you're lying on the floor. So I'll talk us through the first one. We've got 3 minutes to get through both sides. And whatever time is left of that 3 minutes, you can rest. And then you have 30 seconds of rest on top of that. All right. So let's go ahead and roll out. Working your way down the back of your legs here. Shifting side to side. So let's not only roll forward and backward, but let's also sort of move your feet in and out. So this would be called cross friction. So not only are you rolling up and down, getting friction across the muscles.
How does this thing work, Frank? Sorry.
What do you want?
Working your way up to the back of your thighs.
Ooh, careful sitting.
Same thing, you can either shift your body back and forth or move your legs in and out. It gets a little harder to do as you get closer to your butt. And good, while we're on our legs, let's just roll and get the outside of your leg. You can take that top leg and put your foot on the ground so you can take a little bit of weight off if needed. If you're super hardcore, you can stack your legs up on top of each other like this and just roll back and forth. Rolling all along the outside of that thigh. Let's cover both sides here. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat on the roller. If you don't have a roller, you can do these exact same movements, just moving your cheek around on the floor. Or if you grab a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, whatever you got lying around the house, that can do a good job of getting into the smaller spots. So even if you have a roller, you might find a lot of benefit from using a smaller ball. Because it'd be like, it's the difference between if you've ever had a massage and there's the massage therapist can use their whole arm to push up your back or use their elbow to get into one tight little spot. So obviously the elbow is definitely less comfortable, but it does get to the spots that you need pressure on. Switch sides if you haven't already. Let's roll to the outside of your hip. So we went up and down your leg, but let's stay up on your hip now, right around where your pocket is. Two different ways you can roll. You can make the roller move as you go up and down, or you can keep the roller still and move yourself forward and backward. Let's switch over to the other side. Let's go ahead and put your shoulder blades on the roller. Just moving back and forth here. Play around with your arms. See where you see what moving your arms does for you. You get a different roll in your back depending on where your arms are. And last thing, let's rest your hips on the ground. Raise one arm up over your head. Whatever arm is up, you're going to roll slightly to that side. And then we're rolling back and forth. So you can move your body here. Since your hips are on the floor, you won't be able to roll back and forth on the roller, but you will be able to move your body. Once you roll one spot, move your hips up a little bit. So we don't want this to be up in your armpit. The roller should be below your armpit and kind of rolling that flat muscle that goes up the outside of your ribs and your back. So let's switch sides if you haven't already. This one isn't always the most comfortable, but this is a muscle that tends to get tight and bound up. And relax. All right, so we're going to use the roller. If you don't have a roller, that's okay. Sit on one end. Put your spine along the roller and rest your head at the other end of the roller. So the roller's going right down your spine. Let's open your arms up. And then we're reaching up over your head, kind of like your upper body's doing the top part of a snow angel. So we're keeping your hands as low to the ground as you can here. Should get a nice stretch through your chest. So we're doing this with straight arms. Reach way up into the letter I. And then we're coming back down. If you find a spot that's nice to stretch, you can hang out there and stretch. Make sure your low back is in contact with the roller. Make sure you haven't arched it up. All right, so now let's go to the letter Y. So your hands will be out to the side. And keeping your forearms parallel to the floor, you're going to slide those elbows down. Think about trying to get your elbows to your back pocket. But what we want most is, number one priority is that your forearms stay about parallel with the ground. So we don't want this where your hands are higher than your elbows. Your hands and elbows should be about the same distance away from the floor. So just sliding up and down, getting a nice stretch through your chest, getting your shoulder blades to start moving. And good. Let's go ahead and roll. Come off the roller if you had one. So now we're lying on the back. We're going to press your hips up. So we make your belly strong here. Your cheeks are strong. You're just lifting your hips up in the air. What we're going to do here is roll onto one shoulder and reach to the like high on the opposite side. So I'm going to take my left hand and roll onto my shoulder to reach high over my head. So I get a lat stretch here. I'm also sort of starting to engage my core and use all of that. And then we'll switch sides. So we're trying to reach to about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So really roll sideways onto that shoulder. Hips are staying up. And relax. Let's go hips on the floor, feet towards the ceiling. So we're showing the bottom of your feet up towards the ceiling. We're going to drop alternating legs, tap a heel to the floor, and come back up. Keeping your belly strong. Your low back should stay in contact with the floor. Just as long as it's not arching up as you lower a heel. And good. All right, let's come on up to one knee. So we're stretching here, just getting a hip flexor stretch. If you have a pad or if you want to try for a little bit bigger stretch, we'll keep your tailbone tucked down, but you can go back and grab your shoelaces. So, there's always the risk of this bugging your knee or pushing your knee too hard into the ground. But if you have a good pad and you want to give yourself a little bit of extra stretch, it's a good way to get a big quad stretch. Let's switch sides. So if you do choose to pick up your back foot, try to keep your tailbone tucked down so we don't get that big back arch. And good. From there, we'll go ahead and move to standing. Pull that toe up toward your face. So you're just pulling one toe up. Whatever toe is up, you're going to get a stretch on that side. So we're just taking a bow, looking for a stretch down the back of that leg where your toe is pulled up. And we'll switch. And good. Last bit of warm up here. We're just going to work side to side. So let's work this kind of a combination of stretching and warming up. We'll just go for about 30 seconds here, moving side to side. If you find a spot that feels like a good stretch, you can hold it there. Go for 20 more seconds. Just getting that good warm up. Ten more seconds. And relax. All right, we're ready to get going. We're going through this 5 times. So it'll really be about a 17.5-minute total go here. Remember, Tuesdays are typically a little bit lower intensity unless I totally miss the mark. But these left-right circuits have been pretty manageable. Lots of good movement here, lots of big movements, and it's kind of nice to work one side and then switch to the other. So You can follow me if you want to work your way back up and you don't remember the order. And then we'll work our way through 5 times. All right. Oh, I guess I should have you see the timer here. 3 minutes. Remember, we're going to start off on the floor with a floor press. So that's just like that bench press from the floor. And we'll walk our way through it from there. All right. Let's get started in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. 6 reps of everything, guys, except for the get up, which is just 1.5. On that last floor press, you're going to press it up to the ceiling, roll to your elbow, come up to your hand wherever your butt print was, put your knee there, come on up to standing. It's hard to learn a Turkish get up on the fly, so I apologize if this is your first one. Bring that weight down to your side. After the last get up, 6 lateral lunges. Weight comes down, palm will face forward. And finally, feet come square, and it's a one-hand swing or deadlift. Switching sides, right back into the swing on the other side. Palm forward row, just over halfway here, guys. Weight comes up to your side for the lateral lunge. If you have a dumbbell and this doesn't work, or even if you have a kettlebell and this doesn't work, you can also hold it down on the side. So when you're done with the row, you just won't bring it up to your shoulder. So it's up to you there, whatever's more comfortable to hold. All right, from here, we're going get up. Whatever side the weight is on, that leg will stay forward. If you get confused as to which leg is supposed to go down. "30 seconds left. Finish up with the floor press. "10 seconds left in the 3 minutes, then we've got 30 seconds to rest. Okay, good. So we're through round 1, 30 seconds to rest. "15. If there's any troubles with this, just let me know. All right, floor press in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm going to start on the other side. So the side I didn't start on the first time, or the side that I ended on, I guess is what I should say. Remember, palm's going to stay forward on the row. Working our way back up the other side. When you start your get up, remember you're going to step back with the opposite side that the weight is on. "40 seconds left. "20 seconds left in our 3 minutes. "3 seconds, 2, 1, and let's rest 30 seconds. So the way this is playing out, you shouldn't have to rush any of the movements. So we want to make sure that everything's done really well. Try to get that extra inch lower on the lateral lunges. That's somewhere where you can really kind of push things or make things a little bit more challenging. But you should have plenty of time to get through the circuit. All right, getting started again in 3, 2, 1, and here we go with the floor press. Starting on the same side you finished on. Just under a minute and a half to go. Last minute. 25 seconds left. Five seconds, then our 30 seconds rest. 2, 1, and time. Good, we're resting for 30. The reason I say you should start with the side that you stopped with last time or the side you ended with, just because we don't want the same side to be done when you're really fatigued every single time. So we'll change that up, even though it limits your rest a little bit. That's okay for this. All right, so starting round 4, floor press. Here we go. Minute and a half left. Forty-five seconds. Twenty seconds left in our work time. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Last 30-second rest period before the final round. Ten seconds left to rest. All right, in 3, 2, 1, floor press. Here we go. On the get up, make sure you keep your eyes on the kettlebell, eyes on the weight. That'll help you keep it balanced. Minute and a half left. Thirty seconds left. $15. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap. All right, we can take these extra 30 seconds, the final rest period, just to sit tall, start gathering your breath. Make sure I take down who's here. Okay. All right, gang. That's a wrap for today. Good job, everybody. It's nice to see so many people on a Tuesday morning. Seems like a lot of people are getting those last points in. Good job, guys. Challenge is going really well. Let's finish strong.
Thanks.
Right. See you guys. Have an awesome day.